The true horror behind Silent Hill isn't just fiction. It has roots in reality, buried beneath an abandoned town in Pennsylvania called Centralia. For more than 60 years, fire has raged beneath the town, feeding on unmined coal veins, spewing poisonous gas and choking the land with smoke. And according to experts, it could burn for another 250 years. While Centralia bears an uncanny resemblance to Silent Hill, with its eerie, fog-drenched ruins, games developers never confirmed it as a direct influence. Instead, the game's haunting atmosphere was woven from a tapestry of psychological and artistic inspirations. The suffocating guilt and torment of Silent Hill games echoed Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. The grotesque, distorted creatures were reminiscent of the nightmarish paintings of Francis Bacon and the surreal, unsettling storytelling that was drawn from David Lynch's Twin Peaks, where the line between reality and nightmare was blurred beyond recognition. Yet Centralia's ghost still lingers in the DNA of Silent Hill, a town swallowed by fire and smoke, a place where the past refuses to rest, a fog-covered nightmare that traps those who dare to enter. Because Centralia isn't just a story, it's real, and its horror is far from over. Long before it became a wasteland, Centralia was home to generations of families dating back to the American Revolution. The town thrived on coal mining. By 1960, it was a healthy town, with schools, churches, and businesses supporting the local economy. In 1961, officials designated an old coal pit as the town's official landfill. In May 1962, the fire department attempted a routine controlled burn to clean up the landfill. The flames were extinguished by nightfall, or so they thought. The next morning, smoke was still rising. They put it out again, and again, it returned. Unknown to them, the fire had slipped into a hidden coal seam deep underground. With an endless supply of fuel, it spread beneath the town. By the time officials realized what had happened, it was already too late. In the years that followed, the town carried on as usual, unaware of the disaster growing beneath them. Officials downplayed the danger, spending only small amounts to try and contain the fire. 4 years later, in 1966, a large trench was finally approved to block the fire's path. But the fire had already spread too far, and the project was abandoned. By the late 1970s, undeniable signs of the fire's destruction appeared. Officials conducted a final survey and confirmed the worst. The fire was still spreading. The estimated cost to extinguish it, a staggering $660 million, equivalent to $2 billion today. The only solution would require partially destroying the town itself. Toxic gases continued to rise, and large vents were installed above the fire's core, releasing thick white smoke that drifted through town day and night. The air grew heavier, the heat intensified. Centralia was suffocating. Sinkholes appeared across town, some of them even 150 feet deep, threatening homes, roads, and lives. The government had no choice. Centralia had to be evacuated. Despite the growing danger, not everyone wanted to leave. The town split into two factions: those who trusted the government's reassurances and wanted take compensation to leave, and those who demanded to stay. The state offered buyouts for homes, but the payments were insultingly low. By the late 1980s, most residents had taken the money and left. The government declared eminent domain, seizing all public buildings and closing businesses. Long-term exposure to toxic gases led to rising cancer rates. By the 1990s, Centralia was nearly abandoned. In 1995, the town's final church service was held. Funerals still took place in the cemetery, but the town itself was silent. Nature began reclaiming what was left. Highways warped from the underground heat, splitting apart until they became impassable. Smoke seeped through the cracks, carrying a foul, sulfuric stench. Eventually, the roads were abandoned altogether. In 2014, a time capsule buried in the 1960s was unearthed. Inside were relics from a lost era, newspapers, a miner's helmet, traditional clothing, echoes of a once thriving community before the fire consumed it. Today, only 5 residents remain. The town has no stores, no schools, no government buildings. The only structure left standing is the Catholic Church, built on a rare patch of land where the coal veins never reached. Everywhere else, the earth is fractured, broken, and barren. Smoke still rises from the ground, curling through the trees, filling the air with the scent of burning coal. And sometimes, through the silence, a faint whistle can be heard.